Kia ora koutou katoa. Hello, this is Lesley Ormsby, psychic medium, teacher of spiritual stuff, and so much more. And so some of that so much more is I do these sorts of reads, astrological signs once a month, or monthly I should say, at the moment. And they will be, at the moment I'm up to the sign of Pisces. So for the month of March, gosh, I'm a bit tongue-tied. So you may be feeling a little bit tongue-tied yourself too, Pisces, and things like you're saying something, and the next minute you end up like your mind might be overworking, and you may be too much going on. So I'm just going to reel back, retrace back, and then, so this is the sign. This is the reading for the sign of Pisces for March 2020. And if this resonates with you, that's wonderful. If it doesn't, then check out one of your signs. So when I say Pisces, this is either whether it falls under your Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus sign. So just if it doesn't, then check out one of your other signs. Okay, so like for instance, for those that you are wondering what the heck I'm talking about, I'm a Gemini, and I go and I follow my Sun sign. But if I'm going to if something's not quite fully resonating with me, and I feel like I want to check out one of my other signs to clarify it a bit more, I will check out one of them. Okay, so for instance, my moon sign is Libra, my rising sign is Cancer, it's Pisces, sorry, and my Venus sign is Cancer. So I might check out one of those if I feel like I, want to see what's going on in that area. So the other thing is, if it doesn't resonate with you right now fully, it may resonate more so at the end of the month. So maybe it might be worth checking it out then. Okay. So what else do I need to do? So just remember, these are general reads, and like I say, if it doesn't resonate, then just leave it. And if it does, then doesn't. So yeah, maybe something that's coming up with you, because I'm feeling like, even just saying that, I've had to reiterate that and clarify, say that again, like I've had to clarify. So there may be something that you may be finding in your life right now, and in the recent past, and you may be finding that will come into that you may be feeling like, I've got to repeat myself. And it's like going to be, and it's going to be quite annoying for you. For some of you, it might be quite frustrating, but I do feel like that some of you will figure out in the long run that it's actually, and maybe it's because I'm not saying it clearly enough. And some of you may be told that. It's like, what do you mean by that? So it may be that you need something like that coming up, where you maybe need to explain it a little bit differently, or slightly, or you may be even needing to get to the point of it, cut to the chase. And because I feel like some of you have been talking to people that's it's just not, it's not getting through, okay, in that way to them, and it's not getting through to them. So, and I kind of feel like you may be needing to reword things or rewrite things, or re-emphasize things, and be just, because it's just short, sharp, to the point. Next month maybe, just saying. Anyway, I'm going to pull a couple of cards for this. Okay, that's the first card that's out. So, okay, and just do these. Okay, so the first card we've had out, and I feel like Spirit are doing it differently for me today. These spreads. So the first card out is basically the general theme for next month, or general energy. So I've pulled out what's fallen out actually, and upside down is generosity and charity, Six of Pentacles. So for me, that maybe, things might be a little bit tight right now, and they may still be a little bit tight next month. So you may find that at the moment, or next month, things, there's a general energy that you may need to hold the purse strings, and you may be feeling like you're not going to be, you may find that you may not be quite as generous with money and giving money, or buying this or buying that, than you have been in the recent past, or in the distant past. Okay, so it may be, and it may be that you might be pulling the purse strings a little bit tighter. But I've turned that up around the other way, so you can change that. That energy is different. That's just like the energy and the general theme of what could be happening. It's not a given. So you can change the story depending on the choices that you make. This is just giving you an idea. But I feel like some of you will know and sense that, maybe sensing that coming because of things that have happened like just recently and over the last couple of months. And it's like, it could be like you knowing that that's coming, that there is a downtime period as far as money is, you know, concerned, coming into, you know, work or the business and that sort of thing. But that's a good thing, because I feel like you'll be like, it's like there's a good learning from that. And I feel like for some of you, maybe like you've been doing a lot of putting your hand in the purse anyway, or in the wallet. But however, I do feel like because the next card is the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is like, you know, the theme there is, you know, progress is slow but steady. So it may be too that some of you have actually gone into a new venture and the purse strings have been pulled a little bit tight. And so it's like, and that's okay. They're just saying, you know, that's just the way things roll. So don't be too disheartened about that. There is, things are moving slowly but steady. So progress is there. And you're doing this groundwork. So I do feel like some of you have just come into that. Some of you, I feel like maybe, you know, it may be just there right now. Okay, so then the next card that fell out, that came out, is the Hierophant. And okay, so there is, the Hierophant is about, you know, a search for spiritual meaning. So, and that one fell out upside down. I'm going to put him up the right way, up the correct way, so he's facing you. And even though, you know, so there may be a little bit of a blockage in the air for you, a little bit of resistance and going that little bit deeper about learning about, so there's some sort of learning in there. So it may be time for you to just take some time and use this like downtime, this period, to like dig a bit deeper within you, within your soul, and to figure out what it is, like some limiting belief patterns in your relationship with money, finances, and that sort of thing, seeing as the Six of Pentacles has come up. So the Pentacles is typically about money and potential, finances and that sort of thing. So there may be, like, you may be needing to address some things, is kind of what they're saying. And you may have been, you know, maybe a little bit resistant about it, like either now or coming into next month, but they're just giving you a little bit of a heads up. So I do feel like the next card is inner strength. Okay, so I do feel like, you know, that's the Nine of Wands. So there's something is coming to an end. There's a, you know, there's a new phase that's coming into, you know, a beginning of a new phase. So, and that's because you've just like, you've been hanging on, you've been doing the work, and you've been taking the action. So, because I've turned that Hierophant around, taking the action that you need to take to see, to look, to view within yourself, and what it is that, you know, that is that's holding you back, that may be blockages or something like that, that, you know, that you may be feeling that's blocking your way. And there's obviously some spiritual awareness for the Hierophant to come out. So just take some time to have a look at that side of you. So then we have the Eight of Pentacles. See, now this is coming up. In between that, all that, you know, amongst all that is like the Eight of Pentacles. So there's learning new skills. So that could be on a spiritual level, depending on what you're working with. For you, some of you, I'm feeling like, are going on the spiritual journey and maybe doing something like this, and beginning that journey, and or you may be already doing this, and you may be looking at, you know, having some spirit maybe guiding you to learn some new skills, but you may be resisting it. For some of you, but there's that inner strength that's coming up, but there's something that maybe has happened to take you to a new meaning, and it may be just that spirit is stealing you stuff, but you may be just resisting it because it's like you're in this funny little buzz. I know that, been there, done that one. And you know, and just going into, you know, it could be something like this, doing videos, or just even going into doing readings, you know, yourself, you know, personally, you know, in that, you know, that learning, because I'm hearing for some of you it's the beginning of something new anyway. So, but I'm also hearing for others of you there's another step in life where something has happened and you've had to like step back and review things and how your life is going to be from now on. So there's that sense, and that the purse strings are being pulled a little bit tight. I mean, well, you're not putting your hand in there as often because of that. And there's, you know, probably a need for, you're feeling the need, and in an encouraging to learn new skills about, that's what the, you know, to bring in that income in some way or form. And the next card that comes out is, okay, the Five of Pentacles, which kind of like backs that up, is that loss of wealth and or faith. So there may be like that sense of loss of wealth or faith within this situation that's come up or coming up, but you're going to move through it. You know, it's just like it's just one step at a time. It's just figuring it out, how you're going to do that. So, you know, but I do feel like there's, you know, a sense of, there's a process going on there, obviously, for you to learn about that you're just going through. But Spirit of Giving is saying that you're going to get out of it. And it is moving, because up the top there they've got all this energy. They've got energy there, and something is moving. It just might not seem like it is, and you know, and this full moon phase is coming up, so things are starting to pick up and move into March. This is 1st of March when I'm recording this. So, it's taking a while for some cards to come out. So that's interesting. They're wanting me to talk about something. So it may be that, like, this is a waiting period for you, a holding period for you. It feels like it, in the sense like downtime to do this inner work, inner self-care is the word they're using, to get you to where you need to be, for things to align up and flow a lot better. Okay, so now we have the King of Cups, and one who both loves and fears. So now he's upside down when he fell out. So, and the King of Cups, okay, I'm going to turn him up the right way. So the Cups is like is you know, about emotions and feelings. So there's something that, you know, and the King of Cups is at the end of that line. So end of that deck, end of the line, he's there. So that tells me like there may be some like resistance in that. So you may be like finding it really challenging emotionally to move through it, but I'm going to turn that around the right way. So yeah, you might be finding it really challenging to move through it, whatever it is. But it's like, you know, because we have, you know, the next card is the Four of Wands. So even that's why I'm turning it up the correct way, because you're going to come out of it. And with all of that, you're going to figure out, this is why that's the King of Cups is there, and you're going to figure out, you know, and work through that emotional stuff, and those feelings that are to do with this whole thingy that was been going on, or situations, or thingy, I can't believe I said thingy, things that have been going on with you in the last month or the last couple of months, maybe even the last couple of weeks, and it may be like just happening like in it right now and moving into next month where it may happen. So there just, you know, I just feel like because this, you know, this Wands has come up, it's the Four of Wands, it's talking about a time to reap rewards. And see, like, I've got the Wands up there, there's, you know, and it's a celebration. So there's something that you've been working through that you get to the point that you figure it out, and you're lifting your energy, and it's like that lifts your energy, and it's like, okay, I've got this, you know. So it's just that, you know, a period of time when things will seem like they're not going right, but they actually are. And so the other card that fell out with that is the Ace of Cups. So that also tells me that there's new beginnings, you know, emotionally, in the way that you're feeling, thinking, being. So your energy is lifting, lifting up for you. I don't think I really need to talk too much about that, but it's definitely about a lot of emotional stuff that's going on, that will be going on. It's because I'm seeing all these pentacles and this action in between. So it's like, as you're moving along, yes, you know, you're getting on with it, but there's a whole lot of things. You might feel like it's a really hard slog, and it may be, but the thing is, by the end of the month, or even a little bit before, you will have figured it out. So you haven't, it's like, and it's like, what? You know, so what the heck? And you'd be like, I got through that. So, oh my gosh, well, see, this is confirmation. So, dissolution. So that's number 4 and number 5, 45 in the deck. So then what I'm really drawn to is the rainbow at the bottom. So there's something at the end of the rainbow. And even though I know myself that a rainbow is actually like a big bubble, it doesn't look like it when we look at it from Earth, but when you're looking at it I saw a picture somewhere on Facebook, and it's actually a big bubble, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So with the colours that come off it. So, but going with this picture, like there is something at the end of the rainbow, basically, is what the energy that I'm picking up from that, and the message from that as well. But dissolution, so something is breaking away, falling away, or resolved or dissolved away. So that follows up through with everything that this reading is going through for you for next month, the energy of that. So there's a lot of good cheer there. There's a lot of good energy. It's just being, reminding yourself through next month, if this resonates with you, that, you're going to get through it. 45 in the deck. 4 is about, grounding, security. What is it about? Direction. Okay. It's also about being firm, a firm foundation, and creating stuff. And it's also being firm, and like firm foundations. And this is what this whole process will be about, dissolution as well, with the 6 of Pentacles, and like realizing that, even though you're going through this, financial, weirdness, I'm going to call it, this time here, that there is some sort of dissolution throughout this period, because this is where it's going to end, or actually as you work through it, things are going to dissolve away, but it's going to give you through this time that grounding that you need. That's why that's talked about, being grounded in your body. Okay, being grounded and being here. We're going to talk about that now, actually. He actually mentioned it. So just knowing that there is some security, and that's what actually at the end of the day, that's what you're working on, is like figuring out what it is, your direction, your security, and grounding, and what you're wanting to create in your life, basically. But the 5 is about energy, so it depends on the energy. So we've got to be mindful of the energy that we put behind it. So if we're going to have a negative energy all the way through it, and it's like, so that's what they're talking about, like there's something about the dissolution of the negative energy in the way of thinking and being that will come to an end. Okay. So here, 2 and 5, 25, harmony. Okay. And that I'm just drawn to the alchemical sign of earth sign, and it's red and grounding. So we just finished talking about that. So it's keeping yourself grounded, level-headed. And so, and it's 25 too, about relationships as well, which is with this number 4, and finding that security or building on that security. But that's what your work, that's what will happen, that you'll figure out while you're going through next month, is actually come to some, and it's dissolving. You'll be dissolving all that stuff. And solving all that stuff, not just dissolving, but solving as well, what it is, where it is, how it is, and when it is, and to some degree, so planning and figuring out actually that you have got a foundation for some of you, and you just need to continue doing that and building on it. And some of you, there's been this big change, so you're actually rebuilding it, and working through this past one, adding to it, rebuilding it, and making it firmer, more solid, by making different choices and changes and to make it firmer, but it's coming. And so the energy behind that is, harmony, okay? And with 25 is about 2 is about relationships. So people may be coming in and people may be going out of your life within this change, but it's all going to be, for the greater good of, creating harmony through dissolving, things that are not good for your are not for your highest good, basically. That's pretty cool. I just want to draw one more card out of here. This is moving really quickly today, which is interesting. I'll just draw one more card out of this right here. Okay, the thinking man. Okay, number 46, Pisces, the thinking man. So number 4, once again, there's that grounding and security foundation, creating that foundation. Again, within, whether it's the family life, the business life, career, relationships, marriage or whatever, there's something that's been a bit of a change. It's, there's a lot of things that are going on in there. So that's pretty cool. And number 6 is about service to humanity. But I do feel like, in that going, that sometimes we start to realize about what we do have, and being grateful for what we do have rather than focusing on what we don't have. So I'm just seeing that more in that sense. And it may be that for some of you may feel like, actually, I'd like to, contribute to society or the community in some way or form. So in that sense, like, as far as, that service to humanity. And it may be that you like do some voluntary work, like at a SPCA or something like that, or you do foster care or something like that for animals and or people, children. I don't know, whatever that is. There's that sense that's coming in there as well. But also remembering that you provide that, in that sense, that same loving, caring sort of energy and feeling and being towards yourself as well. Okay. Okay, so the thinking man is with this one. So there may be a man in your life that will maybe help you to take on that role, to get into that energy about thinking about things. But I feel like there may be a male energy in your life, or that sort of energy that you may need to adopt that that feeling or that being of a thinking man, well, not the thinking man, and what a male would do in the situation in that sense for some of you. But it could be like, what would dad do, or what would my brother do, or what would uncle so-and-so do, what would my grandfather do. It could be that sort of thing, that energy that's coming in to help you figure out or move through whatever it is that you're moving through, to find, for that security. Okay, so for some of you, it might be a security in a business venture, or there might be something that's coming that is like there's a will or an estate being you're going through, and it's like, well, what would dad do? What would they, my brother do? What would he want to do? What would my, granddad want to do with this stuff, and who would he want to give it to? So there may be that. And for some of you, that maybe that is you that is the thinking man, okay? And working with that grounding and that foundation within you. And like, where to now? Wow. Anyway, the energy's gone quiet. I just want to say I've just been drawn to amethyst, but I'm also being drawn to the moonstone as well. The moon's come up a lot. So the moonstone may be a really nice crystal for you to have at the moment. I've got 3 different types, 3 different colours actually, slightly different. Oh, I've got black on my thingy, my thumb. Excuse my black thumb. I've been touching the charcoal with my sage, and they're burning that. So the moonstone is healing affinity with stomach, spleen, pancreas, pituitary gland, unblocks the lymphatic system, relieves anxiety and stress, aids a birthing process. So whether that's a physical birthing or a spiritual birthing, it could be something that you'd be rebirthing into with all of this energy going on to, or creating something new. But also it helps with female problems. Emotional balance, it helps lessen tendency to overreact emotionally. Flexibility in attitudes aligns emotions with higher self. Chakras at the heart. Anyway, so I'll just leave that with you now. And God bless you all. Before I go, if you would like to receive a reading to extend on what is there, and or just a completely new reading for you, what comes up for you, you can make contact with me if you're watching this on YouTube, in the box below. If you're watching this on Facebook, it'll be in the box above. Anyway, bye for now, and we'll see you next month.